What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Raj back again with another live trading overview. Um, Finally back after like a week or so, week and a half. And I think it's been like a week. I haven't posted a video. Just had a lot going on, very busy. Um, but I've been putting in that work though. I've been putting in that work. I'll say my funded account, I went down. I didn't blow it, but I went down. But I got back up to like 1.7K, and I had some issues with my with Alpha Futures as well. I had to contact support and all this stuff, but I'm back now, back on making videos. I'm gonna make this a light video to be honest, and just show you specific scalping um strategies, or my scalping strategy that I use, or one of my edges that I do like to use, which I feel like anyone can use to be honest, because personally whenever I see this edge pop up, at least like a 80% win rate on 85% win rate on it. And I'm just gonna be going over the pin bar setup. To be honest, the pin bar setup is one of my favorite setups. But as you can see today, traded today $234. Crazy sell off happening right now. Dang, that's about 119. Dang, about 119 point drop right now. That's insane. I'm not gonna lie. Look at that 1 hour time frame. Yeah, we sold off. But nevertheless, let's just go into the pin bar setup. So first off, I'm just gonna really stay on the 1 minute time frame. Um, gonna stay on the 1 minute time frame to be honest, because that's where I usually take all my scalps. So coming to the markets, I like to just set up my horizontal lines, areas where I rejected off of. So boom, I got one rejection, two rejection over here, and I would even mark up this level right here. Um, I would say, yeah, I could do that. Matter of fact, I like this area. Rejected kind of multiple times. Um, so I got my resistance level over here, and I got my support level over here. With my strategy and with my edge, I don't like to complicate it. I don't like to, um, you know, make things difficult. I'm only looking really, not only, but one of my edges is the pin bar setup. Pin bar setup, if you don't know what a pin bar is in Japanese candlestick Bible, at a support or resistance level, it just means a reversal of the trend. So if we get a pin bar, for example, right here, if we get a pin bar at a high and we can't break and close past it, that means we are going to reverse trends and we're going to go bearish. So for example, if I were to select my bar and I sold at this point right now, and I'll set my TP about right here, I know that since I got a bearish pin bar, and I'm not looking at the color mainly, I'm mainly looking just at the shape. So for a bearish pin bar, there's a long wick at the top. For a bullish pin bar, something like this right here, you could kind of say there's a wick at the bottom. So for this, we got a wick at the top, a big wick at the top, and then a body close below this level. So since I got a body close below this level and a long wick up here, and I couldn't break this level over here, I seen that it was a bearish pin bar. So what did I do? I took a sell setup, and then boom, I scalped it off the 1 minute time frame. You can see, boom. Would have took that. That would have been one of my trades, right? Um, I'm mainly taking pin bar setups, like I said, as support levels and resistance levels. Another key thing for pin bars as well is when you see a pin bar in the middle of a trend. In the middle of a trend is something that I would also take. So for example, I seen that we got, even though we're in a bearish trend right now, we got a bearish pin bar right here. So a pin bar in the middle of a trend just signifies continuation of that trend, depending on the shape of the pin bar. So what I mean is, we are in a bearish trend over here. We are in a bearish trend, and we got a bearish pin bar. So a bearish trend plus a bearish pin bar equals bearish continuation. If we get a bullish trend and we have a bullish pin bar in the middle of the trend, it just means bullish continuation of that trend. So with this would also be a great entry point for me to take. But I also need to take into account this key support level over here. So this might be a little risky trade, but say that the support level wasn't here. Just say it wasn't here, for example, and I seen this in the middle of a trend. So boom, we could just select bar, replay. I would have took entry, and I probably would have just put take profit at the bottom of this wick here. I'll take it for a cool $80. I see boom. What happened next? We went and hit for that $80, and we even broke and closed past it. I don't like taking, well, I do like taking these pin bar setups in the middle of a trend sometimes. It really all depends on volatility. As you can see, we had a high volatile candle right here. We just shot down. But sometimes we might also get a bearish pin bar, but then we start buying back up as well. So this setup right here all really depends on, I guess, where we are in the market, to be honest. Ideally, just because now I do see a support level over here, I probably wouldn't have taken it, even though we got a big sell-off. I probably wouldn't have taken it, but something like this, matter of fact, or if we go to the 2-minute time frame, let's see if we got anything on the 2-minute time frame. Actually, we could use this setup right here. We could use another pin bar setup right here. We got a pin bar. I don't even know what happened after this, to be honest, but we got a pin bar, bearish, in a bearish trend. Let's see what happens. Boom. You see here, we went and touched it. So if I came back, just select bar. Remind you, I'm taking scalps. I'm not holding for long. It's just in and out scalps. Boom. Take it down for $134. Boom. What a hit. Quick scalp, and then you see we end up rejecting. So that pin bar setup, like I said, 80 to 85% of the time, I'm hitting on those trades. And I'm gonna make money off of it. Granted, there are times where, like we seen on this 1-minute time frame, where you might get that pin bar. I don't know where it was, matter of fact. I seen it right here. Let me just do this. Right here. You might get this little pin bar. It's a bearish form, and we got 2 back-to-back. Matter of fact, we got 2 back-to-back bearish pin bars. But then we ended up going bullish. This would be the other 15% I might lose on, you know? But you also want to always take into account where you are in the trend, you know? If you are near a low, probably not the best idea to take that pin bar setup. You want to take high probability setups where you also want to have the best position. I want to sell high and buy low. I don't want to sell low and buy high, right? So yeah, you can see that. That's a good example of a bearish pin bar. These bearish pin bar setups. So with a bearish pin bar setup, just any pin bar setup, one, you want to be able to take it at a resistance level or a support level. That's the most ideal area and where you want to take that pin bar setup. If you see a pin bar setup in the middle of a trend, right? If you see a pin bar setup in the middle of a trend like this, always take into account, is there any support levels that I am nearby or any resistance levels that I'm nearby? Because if you take this setup right here, and yes, granted we did sell off, but in the case that we came down a little bit, but then we wicked back up, okay, well now you're doomed because you had a little support level right here. If I just mark this up, you had a slight support level over here where we rejected twice, right? So you want to find areas in where we have rejection to take that pin bar setup, right? Even the doji candle. I love the gravestone doji candle and the butterfly doji candle. The gravestone doji candle, this right here, this would have been a flawless entry as well, right? So we see a gravestone doji candle after a retracement move is beautiful. Another thing with pin bar setups, you could take a pin bar setup on a retracement move. You're going to take a pin bar setup at a support and a resistance, and you could take a pin bar setup in the middle of a trend. So something like this, something like this. So this would be the retracement move. This would be the one bearish pause pin bar, and we get a sell off, or we get a pin bar setup over here at a high. So these are three areas. Let me just move this, matter of fact. Boom, boom, cool. So these are three areas in which I would take a pin bar setup or a gravestone doji or a butterfly doji. Three areas. So I'm gonna go over it again. We got a resistance level and where we would take a pin bar, a retracement move and where we would take a pin bar, or even a gravestone doji, that still works as well. Or we have a one bullish or one candle pin bar pause. We could take entry and then we ended up getting that sell off. Those are three areas or three, I guess, specific types of entries that I would take and according to the pin bar setup. So those are just bearish examples. As you can see here, we could even look for bullish examples right here too. This would be a great bullish example. Boom, we got a rejection right here. Got a rejection. We came back and rejected again, and we got a bullish pin bar. Even though it was a bearish color, the form was still bullish. You could have took entry over here. So let's just say you took entry over here, buy, and you wanted to even target just the previous highs. I would have put my stop loss at the bottom of this wick over here. So $51 loss, $251 win. That seems like a good risk to reward ratio. Boom. What happens? We end up buying. Boom. You end up shooting up. And there you go. So that's the pin bar setup. Just a little glimpse of my edge and what I'm looking for when I am scalping. Obviously, you need to put that together with your bias and marking up your chart from the lower to higher time frames as well to make sure your bias for the day all lines up. But that's the pin bar setup and one of my edges that I do like to take. Hope you guys enjoyed that video. Like, comment, subscribe for more content like this. And I'll see you in the next video. Jesus Christ loves you. God bless you. And we are out. Thank you.